Hey Tone Freaks, welcome to another episode of Tone Quest. Marco De Leon here at the Mix Machine Studio, and today we are going to talk about the importance of having real recorded drums for your MIDI drums or virtual drummer. So let's get right on it. As you can see, I am prepared. The AW is on, and drum samples are loaded. Okay, on Impact in Studio One. Okay, but before I go on, let me just say that there are great samples out there. I'm not saying that um, there isn't. There's samples that sound so great, so good, so perfectly recorded, and you can use that. There's no problem with that. But to me, the samples available, um, I've tried a lot from brands and name it. I've downloaded them all. um I actually have optionitis when that happens, and I have just too many samples, trying to find the perfect one, and I really can't, it doesn't work for me that way. So what I've done is recorded some real drums, and uh I made my own sample pack for my MIDI drums and virtual drums, and ever since I've done that, I've been getting really good results, and I've been really fast with my productions because I don't have to scour what kind of drums I need for this particular production, because all I want really are real recorded drums. And since in this space right now we have COVID, and we don't have the luxury of going to the studio and hiring a drummer all the time. There's no budget for that anymore, but there used to, but not anymore. So I'm also doing MIDI productions for my network gigs. So for background music and whatnot. So when I recorded these drums, these are recorded with a Ludwig 1960s kit and Lauten audio microphones. So let's get on with the sounds, shall we? First, let's hear what I think is the best samples I've. I don't know what the best samples are anymore. So these are just samples I got off the internet. These I put it on Impact and just replaced some of the some of the samples I have on of the stock samples here in Studio One. Let's listen to how they sound first. All right, not bad. Nice sounding, very forward, no overtones, just crispy and nice. Right? Let's compare them to the real recorded drum samples that I recorded. All right. Okay, to me, the first samples that we heard that aren't from my studio sounded good, but they sounded kind of two-dimensional to me. Okay, too forward, too upfront, and too flat. There was nothing going on in the back. I think it's because when they recorded this, they mixed it already and removed all those overtones, removed the room, and this is what happens. What happens? A flat sounding drum sound. You can argue, you can put reverb for the room, you can do stuff like that. Oh yes, you could, but um, it will not replace the sound of a real room. Okay, here it is. The other my recorded drums. Okay, immediately off the bat, I'm just so satisfied with the sound of these drums, and these aren't mixed at all. So they are mix ready. and that's what I need for my productions. I can't have mixed drums. You can mix these. Of course you can mix these. I'm not saying you can't. Okay? Okay, of course you can make this sound better, and yes, of course you can. But there's just something with real recorded drums that just sounds organic. And I think it's the way it was recorded. When these samples were recorded, we really took into consideration the room mics that we had to bring up, and all the samples have that. Okay, so each sample has adequate room for each element: snare, kick, hi-hat, cymbals. And let's dissect that for in the virtual drummer. Okay, first you have this one. Okay, right. So this is the samples I got from a reputable source. Right, cool. See, there is a lot of length in the track or in that sample, and that just says that they had the room in consideration, as well as the snare. Some overtone on the snare, which is great. Not so much room on the closed hi-hat. I'd rather have that longer. Cymbals, adequate room on the cymbals. But if you put them together, they just don't sound that they're inside one room. Even though that it was in the same sample pack that I got from. Okay, I'm just not gonna tell you where I got it, so nobody's gonna roll their eyes. And if you let's dissect this. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's dissect this. Okay, this one has what? Modern kick. A lot of room sound going on there. See? Snare. A lot of room sound going on there. It also has that Neve character. It's recorded with a Neve style preamp. And then the hi-hat. Still a lot of sounds going on. And the crash. Okay, and together, no, it was muted. All right, so yeah, just tell me if you disagree with me that this doesn't sound better than the other sound. I totally respect that, because some people really want up forward, no ambience drums, and that's great also. This is for people or audio producers who are in need of real sounding drums that has a wider depth of field. I just can't explain it. It's more 3D to me. And yeah, if you need more of those or more of that drums, this is the drum sample pack for you. I'm not saying that this is the only drum sample pack that has that kind of character. No, there are a lot of drum samples out there that sound even better than this. It's just that they're too perfect for me. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but for me, audio shouldn't be perfect. Okay? Audio should be about variables, because audio is moving. And that's what audio is for me. And that's what music is for me. I just don't like a perfect sounding instrument. I don't know why. And if that doesn't make sense to you, it's perfectly fine. I can understand that. And it's just for me, and maybe there are some people like me who want that kind of character in their productions. And if you are that person, if you're like me, this is for you. And I'm not forcing anyone. I'm not saying that this sounds better all the time also for each production. No. and that's why there are two versions. There's vintage and there's modern, and they're very contrasting in their character. I use both, so sometimes I mix and match both of them, two kicks and two snares, vintage and modern, and you can do that anyway. So yeah, if this is for you and you want these packs, they're available for download down below. Just for 300 pesos, and or what, $6, $7, I think. Yeah, 300 pesos, $7. Yeah, $7, around six or $7. Um, yeah, if you have comments or violent reactions, I perfectly understand that. Thank you for watching. This is Marco De Leon from Tonecast. Here at the Mix Machine Studio. And I'll see you soon in future episodes.